And we're live. Welcome back to another podcast with Papa Superheart. We're live again. And this podcast, we get into a very interesting topic, which happens to be corruption.
Okay. There's a lot of interesting subjects we could get in. We'll start with that one, and then we might move to something else.
Yes.
But let's go with corruption.
Let's go with corruption.
Okay. Corruption is kind of when someone does something in which it becomes a breaking of the law by doing things that in essence cause the business, the venture to be corrupted by the people that are working against basically themselves. And it has become a big thing in this country. It's been a big thing around the world for thousands of years. So this country is just part of it. And corruption is very, it's very sad, because some family who has heard a presentation of whatever kind it is feels like that this is a way out for them. So they give these people their money, and the next thing you know, that there is no whatever they were sold. It has not only disappeared, it never existed. And because of that, people are now in trouble and unable to pay their bills. And they've been corrupted. Corruption is rampant. It is obviously rampant, since every country in the world has it has been brought up in news stories over the years that there was corruption in this and that and that and this. And corruption's a terrible thing. And I personally think we about beat that dog to death. There's not much you can't prove. I can't prevent corruption. I'm not a corrupt person. I don't know how you get I don't know how you get the brain of a lot of things. Corruption is right in front of you. A lot of corruption is not caught, and a lot of corruption is caught. And because of that, it's stayed around all these years. Because people that want to be corrupt show that they have no conscience, and they have no interest in their fellow man, and they could do it to their own family. In fact, some of it probably is in their own family. Now that's sick.
But it happens a lot.
Yeah. If it happened once, it's too much for a family situation. But people like me who are 78 and are in the soon-to-be upper age group, you shouldn't even answer the phone if you don't recognize the number. Now, if you're like me and maybe have a way to remember most every number, that's one thing. But if you don't have the capacity to remember phone numbers, which most people do, I can't remember every phone number.
But they target people with
like me,
Alzheimer's and people with dementia, people who might not remember everything, and so could be easily confused and easily manipulated.
That's correct. And that's another form of corruption. But seniors are particularly picked on because a lot of them have dementia and will not face the fact that they do. And it doesn't mean that the person making the phone call to try to snooker a senior knows that. But, because they know what they're doing on the other end, they can actually tell somewhat whether this person is a person of interest or they should hang up the phone and go to somebody else. And I can't tell you any more than that because I don't, the scam calls that I get, if I don't recognize the number, I don't answer the phone. Now, there's a few times that I answer the phone because I want to yell into it. And that way they won't ever call me because their eardrum has been shattered. I don't do it every time, but I do it sometimes. It depends on my mood. Okay. I don't know how we can talk about corruption anymore. It's a rampant disease. It's like any other disease. It's like the flu. It's like some of the other subjects that we've taken up. And, mankind has to end that. I can't end the corruption by myself.
Well, what about because most of the world's corruption, in my seeing and your seeing, I believe too, a lot of the world's corruption today comes from social media.
Oh my God. Biggest corrupt thing in the world. Phones should go away. I was reading today about a business that started in San Francisco 2 months ago. And it started with an AI, an artificial intelligence. And they were starting a sandwich shop or a candy shop. I don't know what they were starting. But they started it on about September the 1st. And it's out of business and been out of business for 3 weeks. Because that didn't work. AI is not going to work. You can't talk to AI. You can't say, well, how's your mother? He don't know who his mother is. How's your uncle? He don't know who his uncle is.
They don't have one.
Yeah, they probably got one. It's probably in another state in another machine. And the main dude here that we're talking about trying to get to him. Gee, man, it's family. We're talking about family, brother. You're my family. AI is just a whole nother discussion.
Well, AI's been around for longer than, it's just that AI.
Well, it's starting to kick in.
It's starting to really be a huge thing.
And pretty soon, there won't be any jobs for humans. There won't be any need for humans. And so I don't know how humans are going to feed themselves. Because I still think you're going to have to go to the grocery store and buy stuff. But the AI, which will have information on it, ain't going to let you have nothing because they know you're going to have any food and money. And so they've got you. They just got you. You see? Because you have no money. So they got you.
Hello?
Hello? Y'all, I have to pardon me just a second. The love of my life has just come into the room. And she knows probably more about corruption than I do. But I just know that corruption is something that has been around. It like Parkinson's, like political correctness, like woke. I don't even know what these things mean. I just hear them. They got a new one now. I can't remember what it is though.
Pronouns?
Huh? Oh yeah, the pronouns. Oh, for God, let's not forget the damn pronouns. Gee, money, Christmas. How could I have done that? That's really important, pronouns. Oh, there's so much useless crap. You couldn't even. You couldn't fill up. There ain't enough damn paper to fill up all the crap that we have brought to this planet in the years this planet's been here. You know, I could phone and say more. The crap's really gotten worse in the last 50 years. That's because the technology has passed what people are okay to deal with, and because they can't deal with it now, it's very difficult for them to compete for a job, to take part in society, and a lot of them turn to exactly what we're talking about. Let's see if we can corrupt somebody, because we need some money. I don't know that money's even going to be around. You see, I don't even know if money's going to be around.
It might not be because of the Apple Pay and the AI system that generates the collection of money now that they're trying to figure out.
It's not a what?
There's an AI system that generates money that they're trying to figure out in Bitcoin and all kinds of stuff like that.
I don't believe AI has delivered any of the money.
No, I'm not.
That they promised that they would pay people. Where are they getting the money? Where's the AI getting the money? He doesn't. Let's see. He doesn't have a booty, so he can't get it out of his booty. He doesn't have let's see. He doesn't have. Boy, this is hard. Let's see. He does have all this other stuff. Can he talk?
Yes, AI can talk in multiple voices. AI can impersonate your voice if AI has seen your face and heard your voice somewhere at least once. Can impersonate your voice, Bubby's voice, my voice, Taylor Swift's voice, Miley Cyrus's voice. Pretty much anybody's voice on this planet can be impersonated.
Well, I ain't got a chance in it.
By AI.
Corruption's gonna get me. It's gonna tear me anew. I will not be able to compete with the corruption. But they're trying to remove humans, and they're doing a pretty good job.
I think so too.
All right, so let's move to let's move to a little insight into what is going on situation.
Oh yeah.
Okay, we'll talk a little bit.
Antisemitism.
Anti-Semitism has been around for thousands.
Oh yeah.
Thousands. But it has come generally from the area in which the argument is over. it has not come from the college campuses in the United States.
No.
Because we didn't have as many minorities as we do now. And of course, you know, if a minority shoots a majority, nobody comes to take care of anything. But if a minority is shot by a majority, then
It's got to be taken care of.
Yeah, the majority person will get all the heat, because I believe that the press is scared to death of the minority groups, and because they're scared to death, they won't do anything fairly, and that may be their downfall. I hope it is. As I told you in one show before, I would just line the press up and shoot it. So I'm going to say some rough things here about what's going on.
Somebody said has a comment that they made, Papa.
Right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Somebody said, Papa Hart, let me tell you something. One day, an AI mimicked my voice and then almost killed me by telling people my location. How scary.
Well, the AI has been programmed to actually be smarter than the human, and to show you that humans are not needed. Okay? Humans are under attack. And you know who created the attack?
The
Humans. This is a wonderful world. It's a wonderful time. As I keep saying, I'm 78 years old. I have never lived in worse times than we are experiencing right now. We have 3 or 4 generations who have no respect for anything, and I have told you before, it's instant gratification and me, and this means that when an AI is put on line to destroy the 20 jobs that now don't need be needed. Boy, that took a while. The human becomes basically the can. They're the can that gets kicked. Now, do humans deserve that? Every damn bit of it. And that includes me. You know, I'm not excluding myself from any of this. I'm just talking about it. And I'm not doing it on, I guess I am doing it on social media because my grandson has put it on social media. But I myself have one word for the social media. Two.
Is that a word?
I wouldn't give you a plug nickel. You know, I'm trying to get rid of the phone. I've got a wife that's worried because she can't hear from me. That's a terrible thing. Well, yeah, I guess it is a terrible thing. But, you know, a phone is just something to stress you out, to frustrate you. And it's creating a lot of mental health problems. And we have discussed mental health.
Somebody,
now, isn't it something?
Somebody made another comment.
Okay, let's have it.
One day we will be fighting robots. Reality is becoming true.
We're already fighting robots. We're already fighting robots. And they're drones. You know, there's all kinds of this, the AI showing up at the door with the pizza, driving the cars. I mean, what the hell they need me for? damn AIs don't need me. It's time to move to another planet. Now, how do you do that? I have no freaking idea.
Mars is looking pretty nice right now. They've put a couple human beings there.
Yeah. Are there any other human beings there?
Not as big as the population on Earth.
For me to go somewhere where there are 2 humans, that's 2 humans to me. It's like, I used to go to sporting events. I hardly watch sports anymore. Now, what are you laughing at?
Oh, you were being serious?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't. Sports frustrates me. It just gets me frustrated. It gets me in a place where I don't really want to be anymore. I've been to enough sporting events with 90,000, 100,000 people that 9 people are too much for me now. I don't want to be where there's 9 other people unless they are golfers. If they are golfers, I'm happy to be with 9 other people. For me to go somewhere to see something, 9 people is too many. So I don't know.
You have
what
another
we should talk about.
comment.
Okay, let's have another comment.
There's one restaurant where AIs serve you instead of humans. This is unbelievable.
What now?
There's one restaurant where AIs serve you instead of humans. This is unbelievable.
This is
unbelievable.
What was said before?
There's one restaurant where AIs serve you instead of humans.
That's what I was alluding to earlier. That restaurant opened on September 1st, and it's out of business. They had to go out of business.
There's
now they also only serve one item on the menu. They served a smoothie, and they served it, I don't know, in chocolate. I don't know, but they only had one flavor, and they only had one item on the menu. And they were using AI to make it and to bring it to your table and take your money. That was never going to work.
Well, there's more of those things, those types of restaurants in Japan. A bunch of them in Japan now. Japan's been pretty much like robots actually walking and greeting you at the door and taking your orders and serving you food. I've actually seen videos of that. I was watching a couple months ago.
Well, that's really sick. But a long time ago, when they started putting computers online, I used to tell people, well, this is not a good thing because it's taking 51 human jobs away. Well, it's way up there now. It's way up there now.
Yeah, what do you need a guitar? What do you need a guitar instructor for now? What do you need a piano instructor for now? What do you need a teacher for now? I mean, there's still teachers in the world, but you can just watch a video online, learn everything you need to know.
Well, you were doing good till you mentioned that last thing. I have no idea what you're talking about.
There are courses online where you watch people teach you online instead of in person.
Well, that just makes the mental health go because if it doesn't work and it's the AI's fault, it's going to make this person madder because This machine is owning him even more. You see, it's a sad situation. Sad. That's why your buddy and I don't do any of this stuff. We don't care about any of this stuff. It's better not know. I don't have to get involved in it.
Well, I
didn't set out to be antisocial.
I've never used AI before for anything.
Well, what I'm getting at is, I wasn't born to not interact with people. But you can't interact with very many people today because you can't trust them.
That's true. That's why I'm the way I am.
You just can't trust them because they have an ulterior motive, and people that don't really have an ulterior motive, that are just trying to do what's best for themselves and enjoy each other's company like your buddy and I do. I don't need other people to make me enjoy what I'm doing. That's why I have cut socially most of the people that I used to do that with out of the picture, because I am not going to go to a place where all it's about is the phone. Excuse me, I got another text here. I got to take this call. This is very important. Jeez, my phone is blocked, and I've got a very important phone call here. Y'all are going to have to excuse me. I'll be back as soon as I can, and day after tomorrow, he shows back up. Well, I've gone by then. I took off.
You had to.
Well, no, I waited half a day.
Why even wait that long?
Trying to be nice.
I could not.
That doesn't work.
I could not. No, it doesn't anymore. Not a lot of the time. No.
Being nice is a weakness.
Yeah.
It's a complete weakness. The other person thinks, well, I got him. Or I got her. There's too many people that are just, they want to control things. They don't want to get up and get along. They want to control it. And let's see. They're behind in their bills. Their car's just been repossessed. They only have 3 outfits of clothes. They hadn't washed those clothes in 9 months. Let's see. They can't go out to eat. They can't go to the opera. They can't go to the movies. They've always got an excuse for why they can't do it. And so when you go out to dinner with them, they never have any money. So guess who gets stuck with the check in it? Your bubby does. So you have to quit messing around with those kind of people. And that's what we've done. I don't. Too many people have ulterior motives, and they have a plan, and they're using you for the welcome mat, and that's under the welcome mat.
Yeah.
So that they can step on the welcome.
Oh yeah. These are all things that I've already figured out.
You know?
Long time ago.
I'd say that was pretty good. You know, I'm sitting here trying to keep awake because I didn't get my nap this afternoon.
Uh-oh.
You know, which is Parkinson's. You have to take a nap in the afternoon. But anyway, We can go to another subject, which is
back to anti-Semitism, which was where I think you were originally going to go before we got the questions rolling in and the comments and stuff. The comments rolling in. We haven't had any questions, like questions yet. We've just had some comments.
okay. So we want to go back and talk about.
Well, we didn't really touch on anti-Semitism at all.
Well, okay, we'll talk about anti-Semitism.
Semitism.
Same to you, fella. Anti-Semitism is just it's sick, and people that partake in it are sick, and they likewise need to all
Be shot.
yeah. You know, we're in a period of history in this world where you're having good and you're having evil, and evil's winning at this point. It's winning big. So the good people are going to have to finally figure out that they got to kill all these haters and people that are only interested in tearing down everything.
And the unfortunate part about that is that killing is illegal. That's the unfortunate part about that.
Well,
is that if you kill these evil people, as evil as they may be, as they may even have a huge criminal record, if you kill them, you'll go to jail and you'll get the criminal record.
I understand that. And I'm glad you pointed that out. Because that's the sickness of the system. And it creates the fact that if you're the one being picked on, and it's incessant that you're getting picked on, and they should be arrested for harassment, for this, for that, and the other, but they're left alone because the authorities know they can't get a conviction anymore. These people will be set free. So that's why I ask people, why do you do it that way? You should just kill these people. And you'll get away with murder because the jury, it's all politics. The jury will empathize with you because the same things happen to them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but that's not always the case. And then when you get,
no, I'm not saying it's not.
when I know you're not, but when you get 23 to life, and you're someone who makes, say, $10 an hour at a Wendy's or whatever they make at a Wendy's, and you go to jail for murdering somebody, and you get 23 year or a 50 year or whatever sentence they give you. You may even, I mean, most of the time it's life, I'm pretty sure. But if you get that sentence, Papa, and let's say that they even decide to even give you bail at all, which a lot of the time isn't the case when you murder somebody, I wouldn't presume that you get bail. I think that you just get life. But if you do get bail for something like that, and it's like $10,000, and this person who's gotten arrested is making $10 an hour, they can't afford that kind of bail. So you have that issue as well.
You do. I mean, it's hard to come up with anything to say because intelligence is no longer being used.
No,
Common sense is not being used.
no, it's not.
And you know, I've said before that street smarts is better than having a PhD.
Yeah.
And you see all these members of the faculty of these colleges who don't know their ass from first base about street smarts. If it's in a book, they know about it. So most of the street smart people are street smart, but they may not have written but 2 books a year, and they get harassed on the 2 books a year. That means they couldn't possibly know as much as a 22 book year.
Actually, I read.
Who did I say?
I read 15 books this year. Wow.
15 more
15 books this year?
this year?
Yeah.
That's astounding.
Because I read the Jeanette McCurdy. I read all those. I read about 8. Yeah, I read about like 8 of the Stuart Woods. I read that. I think it was like a war battlefield thing, whatever it was. I read To Kill a Mockingbird.
You did what?
I read To Kill a Mockingbird.
You what?
I read To Kill a Mockingbird.
Oh, you love it.
I read it. And I read a book, something, I think it was called The Stone Age Dynasty. And that's 15. You with me?
Yeah.
So I read 15 books.
I warned you I might go to sleep
Well, you did.
because I didn't have my nap.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm just trying to close my eyes and rest a little bit between whatever you're saying.
Well, that's good.
As far as you're talking about anti-Semitism,
Yeah.
you see, the left doesn't feel that the Palestinians are the enemy. They don't begrudge them attacking the Jews and killing 1,400 people.
No, because nobody ever cares about the Jews. The Jews are always wrong no matter what they do, in a lot of people's eyes, still today. But the Palestinians do not have a good record at all. They're terrorists. Most of them are terrorists. But they won't admit that. You awake?
I was thinking about a podcast.
A podcast?
Yeah, I was thinking about a podcast. Something to do with cars, and I can't remember what it is.
Cars. Podcast about cars.
It had cars in it.
Interesting. Well,
I'm an interesting guy. That's why there's only one of me.
and that's the fun of it.
It's because that's the fun of me. You see, here I am. I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm taking a part in a podcast. I don't even know what I'm saying. I don't even know what the questions are. And I'm hanging right in there.
Which I think is good. But I think we really have milked this as much as we can. We, as you say, you can't keep beating an already dead horse, and we will we'll see you. Well, I'm just gonna say goodnight, Gracie, but we'll see you, and.
Well, we can talk about anti-Semitism.
I think so.
What the people that are into anti-Semitism are into, and people like the Ku Klux Klan, and people like the Black Lives Matter,
It's
the
terrorism.
people like the Black Panthers, the people like the white, filled with hate motorcycle clubs. They're not going to listen to any reason that you have to give them for why they should quit doing that. Because they're having more fun doing that than they were just listening to me or you just talk.
He's got to take his naps, guys, because he has his Parkinson's.
Let's keep going. The college campuses have been invaded for years because of you have to have diversity. You have to have X amount of Jordanians, you have to have X amount of Egyptians, you have to have X amount of Russians, you have to have X amount of Turkish, you have to have X amount of Palestinians. These are all good people. I'm not knocking, that's not what I'm knocking. But they have something in common, and that is they all hate Jews. That, it may not appear that they do, but they certainly have shown their true colors in here in the last 3 or 4 weeks, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, as you have reiterated last night, the best way to handle helping them out of their misery is to help them
to a death.
Yeah. And they have to, they figure that the uglier they are and the louder they shout, because they know that the people that are against them are not going to do it that way. But the butt is when you're going up against the supposedly good guys, which is the police and the administrators of the college that they're doing this on, you're supposed to get fairness. And fairness is not allowing one side to be able to not only tear up the campus, but to continue to foul mouth the people that they want to foul mouth. Mostly in the last 2 months, it's been the Jews. So, because they can get away with that, there's nothing for them to worry about.
Fortunately.
On the other hand, when the other side, which has minorities in it as well, want to counter, they have a lot more trouble because they're interrupted constantly to reiterate to the other people that we're going to hang them at 9 o'clock on Sunday, whatever the day they pick. And they're not going to allow any dissent. Have you noticed that your lamp is still on? No, there is no lamp on. But they, being the haters that they are, see a lamp that's on. They don't want that lamp on. So they go
Bold.
Yeah. And it's, they're just attacking something to attack something, to draw attention. It's like when Black Lives Matter did what they did in Seattle, if you'll remember. What they burned down in Judicial Building was the only black Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Washington that had ever served in that position. And then, where did they attack in the business community? They attacked all the black businesses. The local mom and pops, like your grandmother and I are, who are every day trying to get creative as to how to pay our bills, how to continue to buy what we need at the public rooms, how to buy the insurance that we need, how to do this, a telephone bill. We have to have, what do you call it?
Cable.
You have to have the updated charge machines.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And you'll excuse me for not thinking of some of these things right off, but you know, that's one of the
things about Parkinson's.
Yeah, that's one of the idiosyncrasies of Parkinson's. And I have Parkinson's, and so the good people, for the most part, are getting the biggest screwing, which they don't really have to put up with it. They need to get a gun and start shooting all these people. And I'm sorry that that's the stance that I'm taking. But it's like if I was a terrorist organization, think about this. I'm the terrorist organization head, and I want to kill every one of the purple people eaters group. Okay? Well, what do I do to the purple people eater because I'm a hater? I kill their kids first. Because 10 years from now, the kids are going to be who I'm going to have to fight. So I might as well get rid of them first. Then I won't have to fight them. But, you know, humane entities don't do it that way. The hate groups have no problem doing it that way. They have no conscience. You know, they have an ulterior motive. I don't need an ulterior motive. I'm just going to have fun doing what I'm doing, but I don't need an ulterior motive. If I want to establish one, I'll establish one. But most of the time, I just, you know, I don't want to do that. Now, that's just me. I'm not trying to speak for other people. I'm only speaking for myself. You
can't speak for other people.
Yeah. I can't. And I won't. So
why would you want to? A lot of the times.
How would I want to?
Why would you want to a lot of the times?
Why would I want to have other people speak for me?
Yeah, and vice versa.
Well, you can show their stupidity, number one. Because I could go on the air after their little talk had been recorded.
Yeah.
And I could get, you know, well, he didn't say that. That wasn't what he said. He took the first button on the medicine he said, and then he realized that he hadn't had his name. And tomorrow, you know, I got to get up and do it again. Because these people are relentless. Relentless. They want to tear down everything. They're mean. They're nasty. They're not going to listen to a damn word you got to say about anything. But if you don't listen to them, you're not being fair. You're not giving them equal rights. Does that make sense?
No, but it sounds right.
Well, it is right. And I hope that the good people are starting to understand this. Because you can't talk to these people. There's no talking to them. So if you can't talk to them, what are you going to do? Are you going to sleep too?
Sorry. It's been a long day as well.
Well, it's been a long day for me too.
So
how much longer have we
I was
got?
driving today. We've got about 10 minutes left. But
10 minutes.
Yeah, I was.
Might as well be an hour.
Well, yeah, 10 minutes is going to be an hour.
In 10 minutes, it's going to be an hour.
That we've been on air, yes.
Okay. Well, I've been asleep. I thought I'd been asleep an hour.
No.
I hadn't made it yet to an hour. Well, let me close my eyes and see if I can make it.
I started, I was driving today, so that's technically not, I mean, you think it's not draining, but, you know, when you put, it's draining of your brain. It's not draining of your physicalness, but it's draining of your brain. And it's something that takes, it's something that's good for your brain, is to drive. It's very good for your brain. And so that's what I did today. He did a bit of driving too. He went to some stores, went to get the laundry. That was good.
No, really, I had to get my meds.
That too.
Yeah, my meds. That's very important.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very important. You got to get your meds. You know, I'm an old dude. I got to get my meds. You know, so all I know in trying to share stuff is we probably are going to cover things 2 or 3 times.
A lot of the time.
Because we just can't help it.
No.
I mean, things tend to overlap now. But the good people have to get themselves stirred up. It's not a bad thing for good people who don't want to throw acid in the bad people's eyes without any compunction. They shouldn't be mad at themselves about it because that's what the other side's been doing for years.
Oh, yeah.
For years. And what the good people have been trying to do is talk to them. Talk is cheap. And it is becoming cheaper every day. There's not a day that goes by now where talk is any better than cheaper. And that's a bad thing. But humans are bad things. And I hate to keep talking about that, but we as a human have to start catching up with what the real world is all about and quit looking at, well, I want to buy this because it's a game I can play. I want to play games too. I want to play games too. And I don't get to play games nearly as much as I want to.
Because we have full-time jobs to go to and things, responsibilities to take care of that come in priority to that. And if you want to make a living, most people cannot make a living off of games. Now there are people that do it, but most people who you got to get a job, a real job, something that secures money, and you can't take a risk because it's not always guaranteed that every single person is going to get there. If every person got there, but what could be guaranteed that a person gets somewhere is that if they don't give up. That's something that I do believe in very highly. The only time you'll ever fail is if you give up, because there's no more. So you failed because you gave up. So that's my opinion of that. I do stand by that. I'm trying to grow my YouTube and my stuff every day, but I'm still going to a job and working almost 7 days a week every week. I just happen to be off today and tomorrow. And my mom is bringing in a new life, so I happen to be off on Monday. But I will be working the rest of the week and then doing it again on Saturday. I don't exactly know where you were going with that, with what you were going to say as well.
What are you talking about?
I think you were saying something about how you'd like to play video games too. You'd like to play games or whatever too.
I used to play video games.
And didn't you play like Mario and stuff?
I played every damn game you can think of that was popular during the time that the games were done. Games have gone to another level now, and since I'm not on that level, I do stuff like wordscapes or 4-in-1 pictures, or something that I can dig that part of my
brain into.
Yeah, I need to get help with my memory. I need to get help with my balance. And I need to get really right. And those are the things that I have to do. Every day I have to do. Well, we're doing good on this one. The sleeping duo. Well, anyway, that's it for today.
I think we've beat this dead horse so much
that he left.
That somehow the horse just has vanished.
No, he left.
It just left, and
yeah, he just rode off into the distance. I don't know how a dead horse did it, but he did.
He somehow did. Maybe another horse that helped him ride off into the distance, but he pushed it down there. Now as we are coming through November, and next week will be the 18th of November, when we most likely have our next podcast, the 18th. Or the 19th possibly, the 18th or the 19th. One of the two. Whenever we have our next podcast, that's the final podcast of 2023.
I beg your pardon. I don't want to leave the air.
Well, you're
making me leave the air.
You'll come back next year.
I got so much other stuff to talk about. It ain't even fun. You're cutting me out.
Well, I'm cutting everybody out. Susan, anybody else that might have been on the podcast before, this is the last episode of...
Why are you doing that?
Because I'm having... I usually don't mix things, but I'm having Christmas with Atriel.
Well, I protest.
You protest to my Christmas with Atriel.
No, I protest you taking me off the air.
Well, you'll be back in January.
No, I'm a star. That's what I are. And you're taking me off the air. And I don't like that.
Well, I thought we discussed this before.
Huh?
I thought we discussed this before.
We may have. I have the kind of brain that can't remember anything.
Well, this will give us more time for Cardi B's, which are something we need to do. More time for dancing videos, which is something we need to do. Not only for YouTube, but for your exercise. Exercise is a main thing that helps with Parkinson's. And that's something that, that's what you see is his Parkinson's exercises that he does that y'all have seemed to like so much. That's what that is with the Cold Heart and the Nicki Minaj and Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. That's That's his Parkinson's dances. But we'll be going off the air for Christmas with Atriel, because with Christmas with Atriel, I won't have any time to do these podcasts, and I still have a lot of stuff.
Well, that's too bad. You just have to give up the Christmas with Atriel.
Well, I have a mental health fundraiser.
What?
I have a mental health fundraiser that is coming with it, with Christmas with Atriel.
Oh, well, I might have to get to that because I'm mentally ill myself.
Well,
are you doing it in my honor?
Actually, partly yes.
You're doing it in my honor?
Partly yes.
Well,
that was one of the things that...
Well, thank you very much. Because I've been looking forward to showing the people that are watching that I'm even crazier than they thought.
Well,
Yep. New frontier.
I think this has been a good podcast. We have one more.
Yeah, I got some sleep in, for God's sake.
Well, you can get some more sleep in when we get off air. Well, one more podcast. We will see you next week, or maybe the week after. Who knows? You just got to keep.
I know
up with
we're
us.
going to do 2 more podcasts at least, maybe 6 more.
We'll do more than that in January.
Listen, you better let me do what I can do while I'm here. I may not be here in January. I may take a slow train to China.
Why?
Well, because I would rather not take the train. I'd rather take a boat. Because a boat would be safer for me to go on to get to China than a train.
Well, don't you remember what happened to the Titanic? Good night, Gracie.